In this video, you're going to see an unbiased review of these Chasebaits crab lures. These are their crusty crabs. This is the smallest crab version, and we're going to talk about these and catching sheepshead. I'll talk about both the pros and the cons that I've seen so far when testing out these lures. And then at the end, I'll show the best retrieve style to actually get some really solid sheepshead with these crabs. So first we'll start with the pros. They're all made out of really strong material. Yes, these are soft plastic, but they're really strong. So obviously they're very lifelike, as you can see here, right? If you just put like one of these crabs next to a real little small fiddler crab, it's like identical. It's a good size, it's a good shape. And the material, although it does move around a lot, it is actually really strong. So it's strong enough to withstand like pinfish and little small junk fish kind of pecking at the legs. I still have not yet had a leg come off, but there has been an issue, and we'll talk about this in the con section, that has actually been really bad and harmful for the overall crab's longevity. So the final pro, on top of just being lifelike and being made of a strong material, is that the weight, you know, like how it's weighted, it enables a really nice lifelike fall. Because most of my strikes are on the fall. I'm fishing pilings for sheepshead. And it's weighted properly so that as it falls just like a natural crab would. These legs are kind of fluttering in the water, and it's not helicoptering. It's just a natural looking fall, and that's what gets a lot of strikes, as you'll see at the end in the actual retrieve video. So now for the cons, right? Number one is price. These things are expensive. They come in packs of 2, so you get 2 crabs like this in a little box. And they're usually around like $11. So that's pretty pricey for a small little soft plastic. But again, I mentioned before, it is made by strong material, so you can catch a good amount of fish with them. However, the other con that I mentioned earlier is that although the material is strong, the weak point is right here under the hook. This is a small little sliver of plastic that's holding the entire soft plastic on. And if you do a lot of skip cast, which I do when fishing docks, if you do them too often, or really too aggressively, I should say, like every time you're skipping, right, all this material is hitting the water and it's putting pressure on this one little sliver, and eventually it'll tear. And when it does tear, the entire body comes off, and then you're basically have to get a new bait. So at first, when I first started using these, I was doing a kind of aggressive skip cast under docks. And I would actually, burn through these pretty quickly. So, but as soon as I stopped, right, as soon as I started focusing more on the outer pilings, and I stopped skipping up way under the docks, I not only was saving my lures from tearing right there, I also wasn't getting broken off by the bigger sheepshead when I get a strike way up in the pilings. They're more likely to wrap you up. And the final con is just the fact that they're hard to find. These are my 2 favorite colors that I've been using. Both of them work really well, but they're just hard to find. They're not in many tackle stores, so one con is just that they're hard to find, and that's probably why they're priced so high, because there's more demand than supply. So here's how to use it in action. And so right now I'm reeling up from the prior cast, and I'm making a cast to the next piling, right? So I cast a little bit beyond it, then I raise my rod, and I'm basically dragging the crab under the surface until I get within like 6 inches of the piling. And at that point, I just totally drop it. Like I'm slowly moving my rod down. I'm feeling for strikes. Sometimes I hit it along the piling on the drop. Sometimes they hit it all the way on the ground. So in this case, it was on the ground. I'm feeling. I just did a slight drag on the bottom away from the piling, and that's when I felt the strike. I'm setting up for the hook set, and there we go, sheepshead on. So the biggest misconception is that sheepshead, they bite really light, and that they're finicky. But the reality is, in most cases, at least the cases that I've seen, the light bites are pinfish and small mangrove snapper that are just messing with the bait. When it's a sheepshead, you'll be able to know, especially if you're using just a nice rod and braided line where you can feel exactly what's going on. When you feel the sheepshead, it'll be more of a thump, and then after that thump, you'll feel weight. That's when it's time to set the hook. So there you can see that hook was just right on the tip, just perfect hook placement. And so here is another way to do it. You can also use these crabs along seawalls. So in this case, I cast it right up along the seawall, and I let it fall. I'm dropping. I was dragging it slowly on the bottom, and I stopped. The sheepshead picked it up, and then same thing, right? You don't have to sit there and let them take it for a while. As soon as you feel the bump, but especially as soon as you feel the weight, that's when it's time to set the hook. In this case, Otis almost had an opportunity to catch a fish. You'll see here as I pulled the fish up, it actually the hook ended up coming out, and Otis almost caught it, but he missed. He had an opportunity to finally catch one. And here's some fun footage. Joe had just caught one. He was actually doing a little selfie video, and I'm in the background fishing the next piling, and sure enough, one picked it up, and so we ended up having a solid double. All right, well, that's it for now. Just wanted to share what I found so far after testing out these Crusty crab lures. They've been a lot of fun to fish with. Although they are expensive and they're pretty tough to find, they do make for a lot of fun and bring home some tasty fillets for those of us who enjoy some good sheepshead. And so if you have any questions, or if you've used these crabs in other situations, please do let me know. And if whether it's overly good or overly bad, we're not going to take it down. This is 100% transparent. And if you want to get these crabs at a discounted price, then be sure to check out our Insider Fishing Club. We now have a really big discount program. It's a group discount for our Insider Club members. Now that we have over 12,000 members who just love inshore saltwater fishing, we now have group discounts with a lot of different brands. Chasebaits is one of them, and so I highly recommend giving it a shot. You can save a ton of money on tackle, and we guarantee you'll be catching more fish than ever before. Click down below for details. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you again soon.
There's something about the water that'll give you peace, all by yourself or with your family. Live salt strong and wear the line today.